India and Botswana established diplomatic relations almost since the inception of independence of Botswana in 1966, and we opened our first diplomatic mission in Gaborone in 1987.
Yeah.
Botswana, in fact, opened its diplomatic mission in New Delhi only in 2007. But despite these minor handicaps, the links between India and Botswana are ancient and civilizational. You see, there's a long history of connection between India and Botswana, and each time there's a visit of a high-level dignitary, either from Botswana to India or from India to Botswana, the warmth that is generated between the leadership of the two countries serves to remind how close mentally the two countries are. I'll just give you a small example. The former President Festus Mogae visited India twice in May 2005 and December 2006. During his state visit to India in December 2006, a number of areas were identified for enhancing bilateral cooperation between the two countries. A line of credit was given worth $20 million, which I must say, partly to so many factors, it has not been utilized to date. But now things are proceeding at a much more faster pace, and I'm sure this line of credit will be utilized in a worthwhile project in the near future. From January 9 to 11th, the Vice President of India, Hamid Ansari, came to Botswana, and agreements were signed in the field of education and agriculture. This was followed by the visit of the Minister of Education and Skills Development, Mrs. Philomena Vincent Moitoi, in March 2010. And to follow up the educational exchange program which was signed between the two countries during our Vice President Hamid Ansari's visit to India in January 2011. The Vice President of Botswana visited India in June 2010. During his visit to India, Botswana Vice President was accompanied by a high-level delegation, and the two countries signed agreements on cooperation in the field of science and technology, small-scale and tiny-scale sector, and an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, between the National Small Industries Corporation of India and LEA, Local Enterprises Authority. You know, the basic concept between the agreement and the signing of this MOU is to set up incubation centers where small industries can grow up at a quicker speed. You know, when I talk about technology from India, what I would like your readership in the Economic Express to understand, India has got the appropriate technology, the intermediate technology to offer. You know, say countries like Sweden, Norway, France, Germany, Japan, USA can offer you state-of-the-art skills. You know, those are not very germane to Botswana. What you need are skills development, capacity building, something of a vocational nature, which students can acquire IT skills, which they can use to practical knowledge and get jobs, you know. So that is the basic concept. And a further important development was the recent visit of our Minister of State for Commerce and Industry, Jyotirao Aditya Scindia, from 18 to 19 September 2011. The visit coincided with holding of a CII-BDA business conference attended by key business stakeholders from the two countries of the Hebrone International Convention Center. You know, there have been various other visits. Your Minister of Trade and Industry had recently gone for the CII Exim Bank Africa Conclave from 17 to 21st March 2013. Besides this, coming on a different note, I'd like to tell you the two countries have signed about 12 agreements. You know, the agreements cover culture, economic exchange, scientific cooperation, agriculture, avoidance of double taxation agreement, and various other sectors like an MOU between the National Small Scale Industries Corporation and LEA, and various other things, small and medium and tiny scale sectors, which are more relevant to a country like Botswana than large scale industrial enterprises, you know. You see, in addition to the above signing of the bilateral agreements, we have tried to build up the capacity building exercise here in Botswana. How do we do it? We have ITEC program, Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation program, SCAP program, Commonwealth program, various other degree programs, PhD programs, in which in overall terms we send 200 Botswana students every year to India. You know, for courses ranging from 3 months to 1 year to 2 years. In PhD courses they take 2 years. And every year at my residence at India House, I have an ITEC Alumni Boys Association meeting, you know. And over a glass of wine, you know, we meet all the former students who had gone to India under the ITEC program, who have now achieved positions of preeminence in government circles in the government of Botswana. They have reached the topmost rungs of the bureaucratic hierarchy. And you see, when they gather at my residence, I very often ask some of them to come forward and relate to me their experiences about India. My colleagues, you'll be surprised that most often they break down in tears. They say the impressions that India has created upon them, they can never forget. In fact, there was a lady, when I asked her, what did India mean for you? You know what did she say? She said, magic. That was the only word she used. She said it was magic, you know. So it's a tremendous experience. And in the capacity building sector, we are going ahead. And besides that, we have given grants and aid of rupees 50 million, equivalent to Pula 6.7 million approximately, each year for health and education sector for 5 years. This we have been doing for quite some time. I need not speak about the trade, about the main items from export from India to Botswana and from Botswana to India. But I will just like to mention for your readership, Botswana basically seeks Indian investment in the areas of agriculture and dairy related, small and medium industries like in the cutting and polishing of diamonds, labor oriented industries like leather industry, investment and setting up of ICT park, software technology, telecommunications, etc. You know, one of the most important developments in this field has been a tie-up between your Bokudal and our Amity School and Indira Gandhi National Open University. These are in the sectors like teleconferencing, telemedication, telemedicine what you call, and other related sectors, you know, which is proving to be very, very beneficial to the students in the Bokudal University. Now I'll come to the investment of the Jindal Group. Jindal Group, as you know, is one of the 10 largest steel and power group in India. Currently, Botswana imports 70% of its electricity requirements from Eskom of South Africa. You all know it. Your readership knows about it. Now what the Jindals have done is that you might have heard of the Mamambula coalfields, you know. They were owned by a Toronto-based Canadian firm called the CIC Energy. And they are initially planning to build up two 300 megawatts coal-fired units in the Mamambula coalfields. And once these two 300 megawatts power units come up, they want to expand it to 1200 megawatts power units. And once these 1200 megawatts thermal power units come up, based on coal fire, you know, Botswana will become a net exporter of electricity to its neighbors. They also want, you know, the overall content of coal in the small country of Botswana is over 200 billion metric tons according to the latest Economic Intelligence Unit. I'm sure you're aware of it. 200 billion metric tons. There is in existence a Trans-Kalahari highway project. Parallel to that, from the Mamambula coalfields, the Jindal Steel and Power want to build a Trans-Kalahari railway project connecting it to the Walvis Bay, you know. They could have built a port to Maputo, but I believe that line crosses some game reserves, and according to the Heritage Act of Mozambique, they cannot allow that to happen, you know. So, whatever the circumstances, Walvis Bay has been chosen. And the Trans-Kalahari Railway project, once it is built, it will take 4 to 5 years, and the investment will be somewhere around 12 to 13 billion US dollars. This the Jindals are prepared to spend. And once they start exporting coal, presently India imports most of its coal from Indonesia and Australia. Once they start exporting coal, it will be a big boom to the economy of Botswana. You know, added to this, I'll tell you one thing. When I was in London and I was first told I had been posted to Botswana, all the ladies came to me and they said, "You are going to the diamond country. You'll be able to buy a lot of diamond jewelry." When I came here to Gaborone, I found that not a single piece of diamond jewelry you could purchase. You know, now what we have done is that now that Gaborone has become the diamond hub of the world. Are you aware of this fact? That Gaborone has now become the diamond hub of the world?
Yeah.
With De Beers, they were in collaboration with the Diamond Trading Corporation and Botswana, who were in 50% partnership with the government of Botswana, and 10% of the locally mined diamonds are being sold in the open market to site holders.
Yeah.
And there are a fair number of Indian diamond companies from Surat and from Mumbai who are coming to Gaborone to make a grab for these rough diamonds, you know. And now the whole concept of Government of India is the setting up of an India-Africa Diamond Institute in Gaborone. At the African Union Summit, you know, it was decided by the Government of India that out of all the places in the world, they have chosen Botswana, and that to Gaborone, to set up an India-Africa Diamond Institute. Why is it called India-Africa Diamond Institute? You know, that is because besides Botswana nationals, even other diamond exporting countries in South Africa exist, you know. It will impart training to their nationals also in this Diamond Training Institute. And what this training institute is going to do is that besides the cutting, polishing of diamonds, which is being done throughout, they are going to teach Botswana nationals how to manufacture diamond jewelry. And once diamond jewelry is available all over retail outlets, in the Riverwalk Market, in the Game City, in Kasane, in Okawanga Delta, can you imagine the impetus it will give to tourism? A whole lot of tourists would come more to Botswana, you know, to buy diamond jewelry. And tourism is a highly service-oriented industry. It provides a whole lot of jobs. So new jobs would be created. And partially the problem of Botswana today is unemployment, as you all know. Inflation and unemployment, you know. So once new jobs are created, it will be the best thing to happen to the economy of Botswana. So in every way, our collaboration between the two countries is a very healthy one, a very positive one. And I'd just like to say in conclusion something about the Indian community in Botswana. Indian community in Botswana is fairly all right. It's 8 to 10,000. And very often, you know, the first question the journalists ask me when they come and interview me from different newspapers, they say, "Excellency, you have a rival, you understand the country we are meaning, you know, who gets all the contracts and who have taken a lead over India. What do you have to say about that competition?" You know, I say, that country has got its own space to expand in. We have got our own space to expand in. The government of Botswana provides a level playing field to each country to expand as much as it wants. You see? So we have no complaint. And it's a totally level playing field, and 70% of the retail and wholesale business in the whole of Botswana is in the hands of Indians. You know, Trans-Africa, Pick and Pay, Choppies, you're familiar with all these names. They are all in the hands of Indians. And, you know, Indians are very, very enterprising. There's an American sociologist by the name of Thomas A. Timberg, who has said that the Gujarati community of India, they are the second largest trading business community in the world after the Jews. You know, the Gujarat is a state in India, if you have heard the name. And the Gujarati community, after the Jews, are the second largest trading community in the whole world.
That's massive.
So I wish your readership all the very best, and on a very positive note, I'll express my deepest congratulations to them and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you.